I want to know the answer to a simple question. Can you use somebody's date of birth to know what games they like? Well, to answer this question, I'm going to use astrology as a tool. Let's learn a little bit more about astrology before we jump into the testing and games and stuff. The definition of astrology is the study of the movements and positions of the sun, moon, planets, and stars in the belief that they affect the character and lives of people. The idea of astrology has split people for thousands of years. Ever since its creation in the 2nd millennium BC, astrology has been a very big subject. So big that about 26% of Americans still believe in astrology today. The main gimmick of modern astrology is these zodiac signs. You've probably heard of these already, but basically each zodiac sign corresponds to one month-long time frame, and each of those time frames are supposed to determine somebody's personality based on which time frame they were born in. For example, I'm a Libra, or born between September 23rd and October 22nd, so according to my zodiac sign, my strengths are cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, social, and my weaknesses are indecisive, I avoid confrontations, I'll carry a grudge, and self-pity. Since the idea of astrology is pretty interesting, I wanted to learn all of the astrology signs and then figure out what games appeal to what astrology sign based on the attributes of the game. Why? There's actually no reason at all. Well, actually because it's fun. Now, before I think about anything, I need to make the fundamentals for the list we're gonna make. If I want to sort the games, I need rules for how I can sort the games. I'm going to need these rules to be consistent, so I'm going to be using just one website to make the rules. I'm going to be using astrologyzodiacsigns.com. I'm going to put the signs and the main traits of the signs in each box so that it'll be more clear which sign you're looking at and what those pros and cons are for. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first sign is Aquarius from January 20th to February 18. The pros of Aquarius are progressive, original, independent, humanitarian, and the cons are runs from emotional expression, temperamental, uncompromising, and aloof. For this section, I think I'd have to go with indie games. Since indie games are pretty broad, I'll just choose the most big indie games that are known as indie games. So this includes Shovel Knight, Celeste, Cuphead, Stardew Valley, Terraria, and Hollow Knight. Obviously that's not even close to all the indie games, so don't get mad or anything, but I'm just trying to choose games that represent a section of games. The next section is Pisces, which is from February 19th to March 20th. The pros of Pisces is compassionate, artistic, intuitive, gentle, wise, and musical. And the cons are fearful, overly trusting, sad, desire to escape reality, and can become a victim or a martyr. I know when it says musical, it doesn't literally mean musical, but I'm just going to take it literally anyways. So musical games are maybe games that can be like nostalgic or artistic. So some artistic games that I could think of would be Firewatch, BioShock Infinite, Limbo, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and Inside. The next section is Aries, which is from March 21st to April 19th. The pros of Aries are courageous, determined, confident, enthusiastic, optimistic, honest, and passionate. And the cons are impatient, moody, short-tempered, impulsive, and aggressive. This one's most definitely rage games. That's honestly all it can be to me. Cuphead, Dark Souls, Getting Over It, Surgeon Simulator, and I Am Bread are all pretty good examples of rage games. The next astrology sign is Taurus from April 20th to May 20th. The pros of Taurus are reliable, patient, practical, devoted, responsible, and stable, and the cons are stubborn, possessive, and uncompromising. I'm thinking that Taurus could potentially be puzzle games because of the word patient. So this would be Portal and Portal 2, Tetris, Baba Is You, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and Candy Crush. Yeah, that's how bottom of the barrel I went. The next section is Gemini from May 21st to June 20th. And the pros of Gemini are gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, the ability to learn quickly and exchange ideas. And the cons are nervous, inconsistent, and indecisive. I believe that maybe more calming games would fit under this list, like games that you can relax with, like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, yeah, I put that one twice, Katamari, Yoshi games, Polybridge, and A Short Hike. The next sign is Cancer, which is from June 21st to July 22nd. The pros are tenacious, highly imaginative, loyal, emotional, sympathetic, and persuasive, and the cons are moody, pessimistic, suspicious, manipulative, and insecure. I had a pretty hard time categorizing this one, so I ended up going with games that come from companies that always come out with good games just because of the word loyal. And the first companies that come to my mind are Nintendo, Rockstar, and Valve. The next zodiac sign is Leo, which is from July 23rd to August 22nd. And so the pros of Leo are creative, passionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, and humorous. And the cons are arrogant, stubborn, self-centered, lazy, and inflexible. Leo is definitely innovative games. So this would be Super Mario Bros, Tetris, Minecraft, Super Mario 64, and Grand Theft Auto 3. Next comes Virgo, which is August 23rd to September 22nd. The pros are loyal, analytical, kind, hardworking, and practical, and the cons are shyness, worry, overly critical of self and others, all work and no play. I think strategy games best fit under this list because of the word analytical. This includes games like Civilization, League of Legends, Dota 2, Hearthstone, Pokemon, and Wizard 101. Next comes Libra, which is from September 23rd to October 22nd. The pros of Libra are cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, and social, and the cons are indecisive, avoids confrontations, will carry a grudge, and self-pity. For this section, I think that the words cooperative and social means that multiplayer games would probably fit under this category. Fighting games, Fortnite, Overwatch, and other games in that style, Wii Sports, and Sea of Thieves all fit pretty well into the Libra section. Next comes Scorpio, which is October 23rd to November 21st. The pros of Scorpio are resourceful, brave, passionate, stubborn, and a true friend. And the cons are distrusting, jealous, secretive, and violent. This section is definitely violent games just because it says violent just once. Doom. It's just Doom. Okay, there are other violent games too, like GTA 5, Hotline Miami, and Mortal Kombat, but Doom is just... it's Doom. Second to last is Sagittarius, which is November 22nd to December 21st. The pros of Sagittarius are generous, idealistic, and a great sense of humor. And the cons are promises more than they can deliver, very impatient, and they will say anything no matter how undiplomatic it is. This section would be games that promise to be great games, but they're not actually good when they come out. So this includes No Man's Sky, Fallout 76, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, Cyberpunk, and EA's entire library. And finally, Capricorn. So the pros of Capricorn are responsible, disciplined, self-controlling, and they have good manners. And the cons are they're know-it-alls, unforgiving, condescending, and they expect the worst. Capricorn for sure would be survival games because expecting the worst, and unforgiving. The most notable survival games are obviously Minecraft, 7 Days to Die, Don't Starve, Ark, Rust, and Subnautica. Holy crap, it's finally done. That took forever. Also, I know I missed a ton of games in that list, but I can only fit so many in the list in this video, because it would be too long otherwise. Finally, let's answer the fateful question. Does your date of birth determine your game preferences? Well, firstly, I think this list is a pretty good example of how astrology might not work very well. because many of these games could show up in another sign's list, which could blur the lines between what section the games actually belong in. Minecraft, Cuphead, and Stardew Valley all showed up in the list several times, and many other games on the list could easily fit in other categories. The same can go for humans. You may be considered a certain sign, but your personality might line up with a different sign or several other signs. Also, many types of games were left out from the list, including open world games, so that could potentially be one reason why astrology just doesn't work, or maybe just the list that doesn't work. Also, opinions on favorite video games can change, but the calendar doesn't change at all, so people can change their opinions on their favorite games, but the calendar will stay the same. After listing all these reasons for why it doesn't work, let's actually prove that it doesn't work. I asked 5 people and myself to list their birthdays and all their 5 favorite games. I asked a Scorpio, my friend Saltorb, a Cancer, my friend GPM1000, a Libra, me, a Pisces, my friend Plazz, and a Virgo, my little brother. I tried my best to apply each person's games to the list. For Scorpio, they liked Aquarius, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Capricorn games, but no Scorpio games. For the Cancer, they liked a Gemini, 2 Virgos, 1 Capricorn, and only 1 Cancer. For me, or a Libra, I like 1 Gemini, 2 Cancers, 1 Virgo, and 1 Capricorn, but no Libras. For the Pisces, his favorites are 2 Pisces, 1 Aries, 1 Cancer, and 1 Virgo. Finally, for the Virgo, his favorite games were 1 Aries, 3 Cancers, and 1 Capricorn. After looking at all the people, there were only 3 matches out of the 25 games listed in total. That's only 12% correlation, and in my opinion, to even cite a slight correlation, it should probably be at least 25%. So, based on my data, you cannot tell your game preference from your birthday. After gathering my own data, I wanted to get some other sources to support my final claim. So I looked this up on Google. Does astrology work? Nah. Is astrology real? Nah. Does astrology work? There we go. A website called Science Answers with Surprising Questions says, Question: does the position of astronomical bodies affect a person's life beyond basic weather? Answer: no. Astrology purports that astronomical bodies have influence on people's lives beyond basic weather patterns, depending on their birth date. This claim is scientifically false. Numerous scientific studies have disproven that astronomical bodies can affect people's lives according to their birth date. For instance, Peter Hartman and his collaborators studied over 4,000 individuals and found no correlation between birth date and personality or intelligence. On a scientific level, astrology just doesn't work. There is no correlation between birth date and personality. You may be wondering, well then why am I making this video if I can just look up the answer? Well, 1, to inform others about what I find. 2, I wanted to learn more about astrology and why it seems like it works, and also why it doesn't. 3, it's fun and a cool idea to link astrology to video games. And 4, because it's important to do our own testing to draw our own conclusions and not just believe what we see online. So yeah, now that I've done my research, I can say astrology really doesn't work in my opinion. So, after looking at the data, why does astrology have so many believers? Well, according to the same website with the science earlier, it's about the belief in astrology that makes it work. Pretty much, people read about their zodiac sign and their qualities, and the person feels good about themselves, and they want to believe it because of that. Also, personally, I think that it also works because it uses words and qualities that could apply to anybody at any time in their lives. For example, when Libra says charming, that's a very broad word that can be applied to pretty much anyone at some point in time, making it seem like it could be true to the Libra who is reading it. So, if a person only reads their own sign, it would make sense that they would believe it's true. I could go on to any other sign, read the personality traits for it, and go, oh wait, I'm a twin and I also have many sides to my personality. Wait, but I'm not a Gemini. Uh-oh. Astrology is also pretty fun, so there's no harm in actually believing it, really. That's why I think astrology is believed so widely. Even if it's not accurate, it's fun to believe in it. With the table that I created, it's easy to conclude that astrology just doesn't work. Rarely ever would a person's favorite game show up in the column that matched their date of birth. There were also many times where I wanted to put a game in several sections, but I just couldn't, and many times there were just games that didn't fit in any section at all, and I kind of wanted to put it in a section, but it just didn't fit anywhere, so I just had to put it somewhere that fit the most, but it didn't fit. I've discovered in this video that video games are a way of showing why astrology doesn't work, and I didn't even intend for that, so that's pretty cool. Even though astrology and zodiac signs don't actually mean anything, it doesn't mean it's not fun. It was a lot of fun to put the tables together and see what games fit in certain sections. So if you like astrology, don't take this too harshly or anything, because I understand why you like it. If anybody likes astrology around you, don't make fun of them or bully them, because it's fun, and I don't want anyone's fun to be ruined because of this video. In fact, you should check it out yourself and see what personality traits line up and what doesn't. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe and leak. See ya.